Morty, let's talk some news. So there are 4 items that I want to discuss with you that have happened in the last week in gaming. The first thing I think is the most important on the menu because we always talk about the future of gaming, and even within the last few episodes of this very fucking show, we have talked about Microsoft pioneering the way in a lot of different things. I think it was just like 2 or 3 episodes we talked about Microsoft and the Game Pass and how it's pioneering the direction forward for game streaming and what we think the future of Xbox is going to be. And then they announced just this last week Project xCloud. Now, what this is, if you are uninitiated, Project xCloud is a new service for Microsoft. It's on the way, and it's going to be able to stream Xbox games, not to just consoles and PCs, but to mobile devices like smartphones and tablets. Microsoft shared this new information about its plans in a blog post and a Talking Heads YouTube video where they kind of just showed off the technology and stuff. The company made a vague statement about the new service at its E3 press conference this year, where they said they were talking about their cloud computing thing that they were doing, and then they finally just revealed it this last week. The first time the industry giant has provided details of how it's going to work. It's gotten some buzz.
Yes.
I think it is just incredible. So essentially, they're taking the internals of an Xbox and putting them in a cloud server, a Blade server that will stream to your devices. This is what the two of us have literally sat here and said probably is what's coming. And it is now essentially here. It is in beta testing. They have a working model of it now, but it's not public. It's not public.
It's a sizable working model too. They have a facility filled with these blades.
They've got facilities. Now, I think the big key component to this is going to be 5G, which is not yet implemented, but will be coming. Microsoft is testing this product now on all devices, including mobile phones, tablets, with public trials. The product will be using Microsoft's new Blade-style servers paired with the Azure cloud service, which is like end-all be-all of cloud computing at this point. Like it's the big dog on campus. So really makes sense that if anybody is able to make this service working, this is the company to do it. The service will allow people in areas who can't normally access games get everything that they want and need, including up to being able to hook up your device to controllers, playing your Halo or Forza. They showed demos of playing the new Forza on the phone.
It was pretty cool.
Legitimate demos. As well as implementing touch controls into these things. So if you don't have it, you're essentially mobile gaming on AAA games, streaming from an Xbox elsewhere in fucking a different place.
This is science fiction.
This is crazy. It's science fiction, but it's also really strange because it's right on the heels of us discussing that we think that this was going to be the future of gaming, and now they're like, hey, here's your future. We're going to do this. Which is pretty indicative to probably what the Scarlet is going to encompass. I suspect we'll see a reveal of it at E3, Xbox Scarlet, or whatever they'll end up calling it, the Xbox 2. We'll have 2 versions, a standard console, because they were very adamant to say in this in their tech showcase video for Project xCloud, they'd be like, you will still have that huge AAA console experience, but you'll also have the ability to stream if you want. So I think that they're going to have a couple different models. I'm fucking mark my shitty ass words.
Nerdstradamusing pretty hard right now.
Main Xbox console.
That
will have the ability to do these things. It'll be fucking hot dog. Or they'll sell a cheaper, smaller model that will just be a streaming unit. And I think that's where we're going to go. And I think they're already laying the foundations for this right now. And I think it's very exciting.
It is very exciting. It is the future. We've been talking about it. We expected it. And they're not the only people doing it. Like we know that Google
now is doing it.
Google wants to do it.
Just recently shown off some very interesting things of playing Odyssey in the Google Chrome browser.
Right in the browser, which is arguably terrifying.
I've just heard about it. I haven't seen the footage of it yet, but everyone that I've seen impressions says it's ridiculous. It looks great.
So, you know, the elephant in the room is like what you said earlier, the 5G. 5G is going to take a while to implement. This is we need speed. We don't want, you know, that the amount of time you take to press a button or whatever
You can't have the latency.
No.
Because that's going to ruin a game. And that's part of the reason I didn't dig on PlayStation Now.
Yes.
But I tried PlayStation Now. This was several years ago when I signed up for the free trial. And I was less than impressed because I was trying, the game I tried to stream was Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Street Fighter 4, which is very dependent on no lag.
No frame drops.
No frame
none
drops.
Of that stuff.
You know, it was streaming in 720p and there was significant controller lag. And I was like, oh, it's just not, the service isn't there yet. A lot of people say that it's better now, so I'd be willing to try because they actually re-upped the trials. I don't know if you knew that. So PlayStation put out a thing the other day, probably in response to Microsoft starting to lead the way here. They're like, hey, if you want to try PlayStation Now, if you've already tried a trial of it before, we reset everybody so you can sign up for a new trial.
Nice.
So we might actually want to do that just to see what it's like now. Because now you have the ability, they're competing with Game Pass where you can download a significant amount of the titles as opposed to just streaming it. But I think that Microsoft's on something big here.
I think it's huge. I think they're trying to bring games to the world, and when we get that 5G eventually, and you know they're going to have to build more servers. They got the microcosm test they're doing right now, and then you know my brother-in-law. You might not know this. He did the 4G. He's the project manager at putting 4G up in New York City, and they just finished like a few years ago. It takes a long time to get this tech implemented. This is a brand new tech, 5G, but it's going to be strictly Wi-Fi for people in areas of the world that have very fast internet. Absolutely. United States is not one of those.
No,
our internet is not the fastest.
No, it sucks. Comcast,
but
be damned.
Yeah, in the next 10 years, we're going to see a transformation here.
Absolutely. So, would you agree then? This is the future of gaming, and it's a very exciting tech that's coming very soon.
Whether you like it or not, I think that this is once Xbox goes this direction, everyone's going to have to follow.
Oh yeah, because this is essentially. I really honestly think, and I'm not a dude that fucking sucks the dick of. System wars. I had a Sega Genesis, I had a Super Nintendo. They were both great for their own reasons. I have a PlayStation 4, I have an Xbox. I do truly think, though, in the next gen of systems coming out, that Microsoft is going to lead the way, much like they did with the 360 versus the PS3, which will force Sony to innovate in a big way, which I'm excited about. Sup, host? Did you know that this is a segment of our full episode of the Boss Battle Show, which you can find on any podcasting network of your choice? Spotify, iTunes, all that shit? Now you do. And look at you hovering over that subscribe button. Oh, shit. You know you want to press it. Press it right now. I've only got a few more seconds to tell you. Oh, my God!